Happy Saturday, beautiful people. Welcome back to the African Healing Podcast. My name is Dr. Sherry Mamjara Tal. I'll be your host today, and joining me is our favorite commentator, Miss at Official Tal TV, Miss Miriam, who's soon to become Mrs. Miriam in a few days. So, welcome, Miss Miriam.
Hello, how are you?
I am happy, healthy, and blessed, and I hope our viewers are as well. I know we're starting a little bit late. I do apologize about that, but I do see mental health patients, so things come up and I have to, keep up with certain things. So sometimes my timing is, delayed and my schedule is off. But we made it, so give thanks. And yeah, so we've decided we wanted to cover healthy romantic relationships today because you are entering into a new relationship, a long time
Yes.
ever relationship. So we want to make sure
Yay.
you have good advice and good support. So we're asking our viewers to like, share, comment, and subscribe to Official Tal TV. Leave your comments for Miriam and do interact with us as we go along because, I'm married and I've been married before. So I do specialize in marriage counseling as well as other different types of therapies and counseling for, patients and for individuals who, need to get support. And we do have a place that our viewers can go at talcare.com, right, Miriam, where they can.
Exactly. They can go to talcare.com. They can take a look at our blogs. We are having very interesting blogs about relationships as well. They can book a session with an expert, which is Dr. Mamjara Tal. We are also putting in place a system in which you can also get reach to different experts and different wellness, health, meditation sessions with professionals and experts that are approved by Dr. Mamjara Tal personally. So you can be assured that they are qualified people and they'll be giving you the help that you need. Also at talcare.com, you will be having access to our weekly newsletter, some tips about meditation, health, relationships, and everything. Dr. Tal, as usual, she wanted to make it accessible and to everyone, so she made it. It's almost for free, to be honest. It's it's $5 a month. You just have to subscribe. You'll be getting access to consultations with her through email. You'll be having quiz. You can answer to understand more your personality, yourself, your relationships. You'll be also getting a community in which you can exchange with people. It's like a group therapy, but online, something like that. So we can exchange and talk and get to know each other, try to help each other. And if you get a yearly subscription, you will be getting a discount. It's going to be $50 a year. So I would recommend you to take that subscription. It will really, really, really improve your mental health with only $5 a month. Honestly, it's for free.
Yeah, you did a phenomenal job on that website. And I appreciate your hard work and your passion for, quality service and, improving our social media.
Thank you.
And it's been a very nice improvement. Thank you so much. So talcare.com, viewers, check it out after our podcast.
TAAL care, like care.com.
Yeah, like Tal. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
like that behind it.
Right. So without further ado, let's talk a little bit about, how to make sure you have a strong, healthy, long-lasting relationship.
Yes. And the good thing about this podcast is that we will be covering different ages in the relationship, which
Yeah.
is, what do you think if we start with couples, like couples married, uh,
Yeah.
like pregnancy, child, and then when they're
Okay.
old. What
So
about that?
new couples, new relationships. We'll start there.
Yeah, let's start with new relationship, like bare new, like they just met each other.
Just met each other and got married. I had a cousin that did
First
that.
date.
Met her husband, and 30 days later they were married. And they stayed married for like 25 years. So that worked out. But typically it doesn't always work out if you don't really know the person. You know my position on this. I want everyone to wait 2 years before they get married. But sometimes it does work very well for some people, right?
So my question is, do you approve more like the traditional marriages, or the like traditional marriages, we call them salon,
Yeah.
like marriages, mariage de
Right. Well, it
salon. I don't
depends
know.
on what part of the world you're in. Some people, they're away from their family, they're in big cities, they're a part of new cultures, they're adopting new ways of living. If you're like, in your traditional family system, where grandma's around, you could talk to her, there's love from your family, there's, support, there's visits, there's communication with family. Sure, that would work. The traditional family, relationship will work, right? But if you're like doing new things in new places with new people, and you're going to have to consider adjusting, certain things.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah,
go on.
let me tell you, family is very important. And some people don't have that. Some of our families, they're not around anymore. They're not available. But that doesn't mean that, you should just like not seek help if you need it, or
Yeah.
not be in touch with, someone, a professional, if you don't have family, if you need it. So this is where a lot of relationships, start to have issues, because people don't seek the help that they need.
Yeah.
They feel they can manage it by themselves. And some things will come up where you have to take a step back and say, okay, I think we need to have a professional, or we need to talk to grandma or mom. Yeah.
Because
So
they have more experience usually.
exactly. And
Yeah.
when we behave in certain ways, we don't see ourselves. And then sometimes if we would record ourselves and watch the replay, we'd be like, ooh, did I say, oh
Was
my,
that me?
but in the moment, we're just like, and we have to be aware of
Yeah.
how we, react and, communicate with people. Yeah, so it starts there, but you're starting with a commitment. And let's talk about that,
Yeah.
what it means to be in a committed relationship.
Yeah. So no, my question was, do you approve traditional relationships, which means relationships that start from like a mother or a grandmother introducing someone to someone? What do you think about this kind of way to meet people, or this kind of relationships?
Yeah, I mean, if you have some kind of some things in common with the person, if you have some kind of, some relationships, I think, are still transactional. People just get married because he has land, I have a car, we're just gonna make this work because of circumstances. And then some people are in relationships because of love. So what is your commitment based on? You know, the families trying to merge their properties and their,
But
and
is this a positive or a negative thing?
it works. It depends. You know, polygamy works for some people. You know, transactional marriages work for some people. I mean, it just depends on where you are in the world and what works. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, you know, I'm in a different place. It's so that probably wouldn't work for me, but hey, if it works for certain couples, why not? You have an understanding. That's the key when you're in a committed relationship and you have an understanding between each other, you know, things can work. But when people don't know what this person's thinking, they're doing something that the other person doesn't know their agenda. And this is where the problems begin, you know, so everybody should be on the same page, right? And know what they're doing. And if that's the case, you know, some people are in relationships where they're married and they see other people. I don't know how that works, but
Yeah.
you know,
Don't know.
they are, you
It's weird.
know, together with this. Okay. And it's okay.
Yeah. So
Uh,
what do you think commitment, what do you think is get like involved with commitment? What's gonna be involved with commitment, you think?
right. Like we said, understanding and knowing each other's expectations and understanding, you know, where you're going together in life, right? So whether it's traditional or non-traditional, you know, or you know, modern or whatever, yeah, understanding I'm modern. Are you modern too? No? Okay, maybe we should wait. You know, I'm traditional, you traditional too? Okay, this, yeah, this looks
Like
good.
there are a lot of people, especially in traditional marriages, because usually they don't take really the time to know each other. Like what you can advise people on, like when to ask these kind of questions, the vision, what do we want in life, when and how do we ask, like you can advise people to ask these kind of questions, and what kind of questions should people ask before going into a commitment?
Yeah, before you say I
Give
do,
us some of your expertise.
no. Yeah, I wanted to ask you, are you referring, when you say traditional marriage, are you referring to a arranged marriage where you're,
Yeah, arranged. That's what I'm trying to say by traditional. Yeah,
so the
thank you for
family, the
the word.
parents, yeah, the parents should know each other, right? And if they're selecting this person for you, you know, they should know. You know, I don't know a lot of people that their parents select their partners.
It's not common. It's not a common thing, but I know it still exists.
Yeah,
Still
yeah.
exists. Like, yeah, it's not only in Africa. It's like more than conservative families still practice.
And usually the
Still,
families know each other, so they feel, you know, this would be the best for you and for us. Okay. But yeah, it should work out for everyone involved. You know, if people are, they're not going to be happy if they're in relationships where, you know, they have nothing in common and, you know, there's no romance. I mean, some women don't care about romance. Do you care about romance,
uh, what
Mary?
do you mean by romance?
You know, falling in love and being you know, courted and the things that go with like a healthy relationship.
Attention, you mean? And
Right, right.
yeah, attention is important, to be honest. But you know, I always felt that everyone has their own priorities in a relationship. Like some people will prioritize romance, some other people will prioritize, I don't know, different things,
Right.
but it really depends, you know. And yeah, I found out there's not a good, like, a right answer. Yeah, I don't know what you think about that, but I think for me it's romance.
Hey, me too. Okay, I was wondering.
For me,
Now, okay, now we
it's
cleared that
romance.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no. It's
yeah. I think most women like that part. And
yeah,
so a lot of times we love it, but we don't give it. So we have to, you know, realize that, yeah, the men like to, be complimented and be recognized. They love to be recognized for their efforts. Sometimes they're doing things and we're like, oh, okay, that's what men should be doing. But sometimes they're doing it to impress us, or they expect us to, see their efforts they're making, and we just like, okay, it's just what men do. But we need to always realize that we love attention, and men, they love to be recognized, and they love to have respect. They just thrive when, we give them respect, right? So
yeah.
at all times, remember those things in your
Yeah,
new.
the problem is that we, like women and men, don't function the same way.
Mhm.
So most of the time we we don't understand the signals. We don't get the signals, because we don't function the same way. It depends on the couple, depends on the dynamics, but this is what I noticed.
Yeah.
I don't know what you think about that.
Yeah, so there's a author, his name is Gary Chapman. He wrote a book. It's called The Five Love Languages, right? So it's time for us to you know, get the facts and get the data about what works and what doesn't work, okay? So according to Mr. Chapman, there's five love languages. The first one is words of affirmation, all right? And it goes both ways. As a partner in the marriage, you let your partner know, uh, you look amazing today. Words of affirmation. You're doing good in certain areas, whatever the situation is, right? Praise the person, whenever possible. Let them know they're doing good. Acts of service. Do things for your partner. Sometimes, as a man, he might do the laundry for you, right? He might clean the house. I mean, some guys do that. They cook, they clean, they do the laundry. Do they have obsessive compulsive behavior? Some people do. They have OCD. That's why they're doing all that. Is it really, an act of service? So besides the things that, they feel they should do, we should try to go above and beyond and do some kind acts of service for our partner. So they feel special. They feel that's part of romance, right? Give
Yeah,
them gifts, right? They give you gifts. The man will give you a gift. So why don't we give them a gift, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
true.
So you know how many men can't wait for Father's Day so they could get a gift? But why do they have to wait for Father's
And
Day?
a lot of a lot of, like, because usually like the children remember Mother's Day more than Father's Day, so most of the time it's a forgotten day as well.
And they're jealous. Can you believe this? The men are jealous. So
Yeah.
let's give them gifts more often. We have to spend quality time with each other. That means we should have a date night, right? At least once a week, where we either have candles, have a nice dinner at home. We schedule that time together, right? Uh, he says we should have physical touch. And for women, when a man hugs you, and this is the man you're committed to, that touch, and they want touch too. I think a lot of men, maybe sometimes they don't grow up with people hugging and touching. They're not used to it. But when you touch people in the right places, maybe they like a foot massage. We talked about that in that book that I wrote, right?
Exactly,
Let's
yeah.
Grow Together on
Yeah.
Amazon.com.
Just I want to tell the viewers, go purchase the book. It's an amazing book. It's on Amazon. We'll put the link. You will find the link during on this record. This will be recorded so everyone can watch it, and then we will be adding the link as well on Instagram. So
Right.
buy the book, guys.
Yeah. So, and I think sometimes if the men would touch us in a way that, is stimulating, sometimes they want to touch us up too much. And maybe, some women might avoid that. I think
Why do
knowing,
you think they avoid that?
because we're, think women, okay, women are always thinking and planning. And, nowadays we're working and we're kind of stressed out. And that's, intimacy is like on the back burner, but there's ways to bring it to the front, if that's what the man is desiring. So, because me, if you do a back massage, oh yes, I'm all yours, I know if you like kiss me on the back of my neck, oh yes, okay. So it's like, but if we don't get that, like you said, the right signals, then we're not thinking about it. But the men, they say, I think they think about, intimacy and more, like how many times an hour, and this is like something we might think about once a day as a woman. Some women, I don't think they even think about it, for a week, right?
Yeah, but you think why? Is it like nowadays life, or is it work? Is it
Yeah,
kids?
it's life, it's hormones, it's a combination of things, right? And we should know what our partner expects. Okay, are we going to have intimacy every day? Are we going to have intimacy once a week? I met a couple, the man wanted intimacy once a week and the woman wanted intimacy every day, right? And then it
So
could,
these are the kind of cases that you that they usually come to you, like, to help them on the like in consulting sessions, right?
right. Now, yeah, some people it's just a normal thing. For some people, certain medications is causing it, or medical conditions, mental health conditions. So we have to know, all right, this is what I expect, this is what I enjoy, and not go along and, down the
And
road.
how do you think intimacy affect the couples on the short term and on the long term?
Right. You have to figure out what's healthy in your relationship, and not just go along and pretend like, this is working for me and it's really not. I don't enjoy this. And then you're trying to find an exit strategy to get out of the relationship, because you're not enjoying it. You should enjoy your partner. You should enjoy your marriage. You should enjoy life together. All
Yeah.
right. They
Yes.
should, yeah, your partner should compliment you and, you know, and you be a compliment to your partner. Like my husband, he's like I told you, and I think I wrote it in the book, he's always sending me messages, reminding me how much he loves me. He, he works with me. We're talking today because of my husband. He's the one that went out and said, I'm finding people to help you, okay, to have a better business, and do all the things that you have planned. He's the one that, helps me all the way, all
That's
along.
beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, so we need to, and some people are in a relationship where the partner doesn't understand what in the world they're doing, and they don't contribute, they don't help, they don't, they're just like separate lives. And
Yeah. I
we,
think, you know what, because I think we some at a certain point we start taking our partner for granted.
yeah, so
You know,
don't let
it's like it's because
that,
the partner becomes like something like I don't
and you
know,
know why that
something I
happens.
have, and I will be always having.
You know why that happens, right? Because of lack of communication, and people don't spend time together. So we need to have date night once a week, whether at home or going out. Going out is great if the weather's great. We should have a social life, right? And be active.
Yeah.
We should plan to sit down maybe on a Saturday morning and go over the bills. because it's good to have your husband's or your wife's opinion about certain decisions we might make about spending money or going places or whatever. All right. Because yeah, if we don't, then we miss out on some good ideas and good advice from our partner, right? Because the men, my husband, he's really good at this. They say men, you know, think more with their left brain and women more with the right. And we do think with our left, but we go from left to right, left to right. We're planning, we're doing, we have these ideas. And the men, they're not thinking about anything if they don't have to, right? Most of the time.
They're
And if we,
logical. It's like
right,
pragmatic and logical.
exactly. So we go to them and we say,
Straight to the point.
thank you. What do you think about that? Boom, we have our solution. And we say sometimes, I didn't think about that, I was telling my brother's wife, last week or this week, hey, I noticed this first in my brother. I said to my brother, I have a bicycle. I'm going to buy a bicycle and I'm going to have to bring it upstairs, 3 flights of steps. Whew, how am I going to do this? And I'm just thinking and planning. And I says this to my brother and he says, you have a garage. It's your apartment complex. Why don't you put your bike in there? And I'm like, duh. Well, and I'm just thinking and planning how I'm going to get this bike up the steps and just like that. So
Yeah, true. And it happens to me all the time. Like sometimes I call my fiance, I'm having a million ideas. I was like, I want to do this and this, and then I'll be talking all over the place. You'll be like, okay, calm down. Let's organize the ideas. Start with this, then we can do this. It's like it's really like having someone who is logical and straight to the point in your life helps a lot, and especially for people who are not organized, who are always all over the place.
He sounds like a winner. So you see how that left brain just delivers, and it's so important to make sure we have their opinion and make sure they're involved as partners, because they bring to the table, just like we said, because they're a man and because we're a woman, we bring different things that we should appreciate and not say, I can handle this. It might be a little thing, but just talking about that little thing, the man will be like, wait a minute, did you think about this? Nope. Never crossed my mind, Yeah. So yeah. And this is why, my husband, he's such a good leader, because right away he'll just find a solution. And
So I have a question in here, because I think a lot of people, and I saw a lot of people misunderstood this exact word. What does it mean, a leader? Because seriously, a lot of people and a lot of men misunderstood this word.
Yeah. So being a leader,
and women think it's a bad thing. So can you please explain to them, what does it mean? What does it involve?
So he, as a leader, my husband, he keeps up with everything in the home. When he's outside, he's also a leader in the community. So that's a plus for me, So he listens, he's very patient, and he finds balance. So it's not just like his way or the highway, and I have to go along because I'm his slave. That's not
what I was trying to. I want people to understand this exactly. What does leader mean?
Right. And people are like, how did you two get together? Because he's different. He's like, and you don't find this every day. He just like, he really wants to help, whether it's personal, business. Yeah, he takes the leadership role to go out. He protects me. He, anywhere I go, if I say, I need something, he says, hey, my wife needs this. Make sure she gets it right now.
Exactly. This is what exactly. Yeah, because people usually, like, for them, a leader means controls.
No.
That person is a leader. That person is which means he's a controlling, manipulative, very bad person. You know, this is not a lead. What does a leader mean, guys? Like,
A leader means someone who can, you know, um, find direction and protection, and you feel safe with, and, you know, make things work out. Okay. Help.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
patience, sweet talking to talk to, very easy to deal with. Like he tried to make your life easier, and this is where the leadership comes. Like he tries to make your life easier. He don't wanna, and the proofs, like it's not about control, is that doctor, like you are saying that your husband is a leader, and yet you are doing podcast, being an entrepreneur, going out, talking, doing things, having several companies. I'm doing a lot of things, you know, and this, which means being a leader, it's not someone who will control every aspect in your life. It's just someone who will make things easier for you, you know, even with the word, even with the, you know.
Yes, and he does it very well. And I've been married before, and a lot of times if you're like, uh, you know, very dedicated to certain things, more educated in certain areas than your partner, then sometimes it lowers their self-esteem. And every little thing, the man feels, they call it emasculated, right?
Mm.
And then the relationship starts to run into, because they resent you after a while. A lot of times there's men in a relationship that things are bothering them. Maybe we said something that was hurtful, and instead of telling us, I don't like the way you said that, because my husband right away, he'll say, don't you talk to me like that, woman. I'm like, oops, my king, So yeah, sometimes if people were to just find a way to let the other person know, this really bothered me or this hurt me, instead they'll go outside of the home and have, friends and relationships they shouldn't be having. You know what I'm saying? And that's how they find a way to cope. And when they could have just told their partner, yeah, this is not nice, what you said, and this hurt me. And, let's talk about this, right? So if people are having problems in their relationships, there's an excellent book. It's called Love and Respect. Okay. Because a lot of times what's going to hurt the man is if they feel they're disrespected. All right. So get that book on Amazon. I forget the guy's name, but anyway.
Yeah, we'll try to put all the links so people can
Yeah.
find all the references.
That book is great. And in that book, he talks about, women wear their pink glasses because we're from Venus, and men wear their blue glasses because they're from Mars, So
yeah, I read that book, I think. Yeah.
if we're looking at things with our pink glasses and he's looking at it with his blue glasses, then, yeah, it's going to be we see things, we don't see that this hurt the person, but they feel really hurt, with their blue glasses on, right? So, yeah, we need
But I think also because women are more emotional and their emotions are more like a wave,
yeah,
men is more like stable than us. I think part of being a leader is also being someone who's gonna be
right,
always stable whenever, because we're always up and down, you know.
right. So, yeah, hopefully men understand that, we have more hormones, so we're more emotional. There's some certain times of the month where we're just like, you know, we just,
Yeah. Like
yeah.
you don't mean to hurt the person.
Right. But we need to make sure that we're aware of our behavior,
Yeah.
and we can talk about it, and hopefully the men can say it in a nice way, so that we can uh, work together as a couple and
Yeah.
respect each other as well,
Mm.
and have a healthy relationship. That's where it all starts, communication. Yeah.
Yeah, you're true. We need to be aware of our behavior, like from both partners. But it's always like women tend to be more like ups and downs, and men tend to be like the rock, always there, always stable, always same mood. Okay, no problems. I can deal with it.
But they want to scream, they want to cry, they want to, do certain things as well, that
Yeah.
society is like, oh no, you have to be the strong rock and you can't. It's okay, we have emotions and we should not let it destroy our relationship, you know. So we need to keep certain things in check.
But I
Okay.
think it's healthy as well to men to show to be vulnerable and show emotions. What do you
Yes.
think about that?
Yeah, so that's why it's good to spend time together, have your date night, have your time where you're going over everything in the household. What happened this week? You want to hear, yeah, what happened, hon, to you when you went to that meeting, with your boss on Monday? Okay, because he's probably keeping this all in. And when we ask, then it's just like, wow, we've been talking 1 hour, I didn't know you had all these issues.
Yeah. Yeah, because usually most of the time for men to be vulnerable, it's like a lot of men consider it as like, oh, I'm vulnerable, I'm not a man. Which is wrong, I think, but it's at least you're not gonna be crying every second over everything, you know. But it's good to show emotions because we're not robots, like to be vulnerable, you know. I don't know what you think about that.
Yeah, that's you're absolutely right, and like I said, just showing that you care, asking questions, being involved in their life. Okay. We always expect, the guy to, yeah, be concerned about us, but let's show them concern. This is a lot of what men are complaining about. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, and understand his family, like what kind of family does he have? We have to like do an assessment here. How is he raised? What's he comfortable with? And vice versa. Yeah.
Yeah, it's from both sides. Even the men should think the same, because we're like, usually couples are raised in two different environments, two different families, sometimes two different countries. So it's sometimes the way of thinking, the way of doing things, it's totally different.
Customs. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so we really need to understand these aspects before before getting like into a commitment.
Committed relationship. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Which is good, by the way. I mean, for me, commitment means discipline. I've been committed. I've been always committed to my relationship from like, I think I know him from 8 years ago, more, I think, even more, I think,
Oh,
when I was a student. Like
yeah.
I know him from when I was in college, but I've been always in a committed relationship, and I think this improves discipline in professional life as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because when I don't know, it's more of when you're in a committed relationship, which means you're gonna be committed in everything in your life.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
do you think about that?
Yeah, when you understand each other, like I say, know his expectations, he knows your expectations, and you both are okay with, what you're bringing to the table and how you're living your life. And you can be open with each other. Openness is important. We just went through understanding each other's love language and, yeah, knowing how to have a good life with your partner, get
Yeah,
along. Yeah, those older people, they're like, they were always like, yeah, it's all about give and take. This was always the older people's advice. Okay, it's all about, have to know how much you can give and how much you can take. Okay. So if you can put up with certain things and he could put up with certain things and y'all can work on certain things, that's what it takes, right?
And that's where comes the communication at the start. I mean,
Mhm.
if we don't communicate about that, we might never know.
Right. So
Yeah.
you and your husband to be in a few days.
In a few days, in 2 weeks, exactly, to be more precise.
Yes, you know each other for a while now.
Yeah, a while, honestly. It's been very beautiful. Yeah, it's been
Wonderful.
beautiful because I think a part of what, like, the me of today,
Yeah.
it's because of that commitment as well. We have our ups and downs, like it's not 100 like everyone, but I mean, the good thing is that openness you were talking about, the communication, the openness. It was a distance relationship, and yeah, it's
So now you're going to live together.
yeah.
Yeah. So when people live together, there's certain things, habits they might have, things they might do. So we have to, I think I told you before, sometimes you just don't want to say certain things that you're feeling at that moment. Okay. Sometimes it's good to write things down, maybe send them a text message, because you know what happens when we write a text message, right?
What happens?
We look at it before we send it and we're like, okay, I just said that, but I want to change this. And you could change it in a text message, right? You could change your approach if you were to talk to mom or auntie about certain things you're not happy with, right? You could have a different perspective. You can change the way your approach, right? But if you like just say things right then at the moment, guess what? You
It
can't
could create problems.
take it back. You can't change it. And
Yeah,
now the
yeah,
person's
that's
like,
100% true. I totally agree with you.
yeah, you are
Yeah,
hurting me.
yeah.
And that's when the man, he's not going to say it, but he's hurt. And then he's going to start doing things that,
Yeah, I always do one, like, before say it's always like that, and I've been doing it, and I advise people before saying something, put yourself instead of the person. Do you want to hear that or not? If
exactly,
you want to hear that, and it's okay, say it. If you don't want to hear it, so it's gonna hurt you, so it's gonna hurt the other people, you know.
exactly. So that is very important.
Yeah,
The way
exactly.
we're feeling, we just don't, uh, bring things up at that moment. Sometimes it's, my therapist in the past, she said, it's good to tell it to Jesus. Okay. Before you say it to your husband, say it.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Yeah. So go in prayer and say, Jesus, I have this problem, or, whoever what your religious beliefs are, Allah,
So it's
I have
no,
this
it's for
problem.
me. It's no, don't worry about that. It's
you know,
fine.
so,
No,
yeah,
no, no, don't be. It's like we respect each everyone's
I gotta,
belief. Yeah, of course.
yeah, I gotta make sure I don't, okay, I'm back. Make sure I don't lose power. Okay, thanks for your patience, viewers. I'm back. Uh-oh, my light is not good.
No problem. But what you were saying is good, is good. And I think what's even, but because, like, we have something with my fiance, is that when we're angry,
Mhm.
we should, because sometimes, like, there are couples who want to talk about things right away. There are couples who can't talk about things right away. They need to process things and think, and so
That's
when
the
they
word.
talk, they don't so what we do when we start to going set up, we take some distance to calm down, and then we come and talk about it again. And I think this helps a lot. I advise people to do that, to be honest.
Exactly. But some people, they're just impatient. They're, spontaneous. There's a lot of people that say things you should never say, okay? If you're thinking it, you should never say this. I have family members like that. Whatever they're thinking, they just say it. It's like there's no processing, there's no, in that, destroys relationships.
Yeah.
Let's
And
face
it
it.
creates no boundaries.
Exactly. So know your boundaries, have a good approach for, communicating with your partner. And like we said, if you feel you're snappy or having, some people need medication, okay? They have imbalances, emotional problems, they need to talk to a therapist. They might need medication. So take a step back and figure out, why am I feeling like this? Will my monthly cycle be starting in a week? Do I have a problem that it's ongoing and I need to see a professional about? Should I talk to mom or grandma about, the issues I'm having and the problems it's causing in my relationship? And the men, please let us know, right? In a nice way, at a right time, how you feel, okay? About our relationship, about what we said, about what we're doing or not doing, what you want more of, where you want to
This
be.
is the vulnerability I'm talking about. This is the feelings and talking because a lot of men don't want to, like, they want to say something or do something so bad, but they don't want to do it because of the image, the pressure we put on men. To be a man, you should do this, and this.
Yeah. And see,
So much pressure. I mean, why?
this is why I love my husband, because if he wants me to do something or if he's not feeling good, he'll just say, could you like sit next to me? Could you hug me? He's just saying it. I'm like, oh, this is so cute. So you don't get that every day from
Yeah,
men.
exactly.
So
Exactly.
it's
Yeah.
okay. Let them know they can relax. They can be open with us. They can, let us know what's working and what's not working. We're not that emotional. Come on, not all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, no, that's true. No, that's true.
All
We're not that emotional.
they don't want to make us cry. They
No, I
don't.
mean ups and downs, but in like we still like, I mean, look at you, you're an entrepreneur working, having your podcast, doing things, you're having a very tight schedule. So it's not, it's like we're still strong. We should be strong and we should have strong personality because it's like we're creating families, which is yeah.
Yeah. So we want to have, you know, good behaviors when we have our children. They can also, have a good childhood and good things, influences in their life. Okay. So hopefully, if you didn't have, as an adult, as a parent, have good, things happening when you were young, now it's a time to learn how to be a better parent. Sometimes our parents were alcoholics, drug addicts, uh, always working. Some of us had parents who were narcissists. Some of us had parents who were all of the above, it's like, whew.
Yeah.
And yeah, we didn't know certain things were not normal. So let's not bring those things into our marriages, into our parenting. We need to work on some things. And if you need to work on it, find help from a professional, from family members, okay?
Yeah, no, you're so totally. We need to stop generational trauma because especially I think this is more common in our countries in Africa because we keep passing that trauma to our children and then it's like a cycle. We need to break the cycle.
Miriam, it's in all ethnic groups, all countries. We are humans, okay?
Yeah.
So society wants us to think that we are just different species or something. I don't know. We all have the same, feelings. We have the same organs. We have the same everything, brain. So that person you think is stupid with education, they could be a genius. They could be pretty smart.
No, exactly.
Yeah, certain things that we go through over here in America, people are going through in Africa. People go through things, whether they're Black, white, Chinese, Spanish, whatever. It's, you know, now there's cultural norms and certain, ethnic groups, they're like, we don't do that here. Okay. So we have a immediate understanding about certain things. But if they didn't have certain rules and, and expectations, a lot of things would be going on, like with other communities. It's like, what are y'all doing? Uh, yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
no, true,
a
true. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Maybe because like because I lived like a big part of my life in Africa, so I saw these things. So in my mind, it's there. Maybe that's why, because in my mind, I was like, we have a lot of these, like we keep passing sometimes trauma from like to our children, but you're true. That's true. It's everywhere. It's in America, it's here in Europe, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
We have this trend to, yeah.
I've had a lot of Pakistani patients. I'm like, oh boy, you folks have been really, struggling with a lot of
Yeah.
issues, yeah, for so long. And
Even
hopefully,
here in Europe, I have some friends that they'll be like, they tell me about how they're raised. I was like shocked. I was like, really?
no, some people are
Here?
like, yeah, they have to raise themselves. The parents are working and you never see your parents like for days. You have to cook your own food, get yourself to school, there's no one there.
Yeah, it's not even that. It's like I know someone like their parents were like depressed or something, and then
They
they
get help.
yeah, and then they will like they pass to them this kind of certain habits and this depression and this energy and this, and then they are now feeling so depressed and they're not good because yeah, it's like it's really sad. But I understand. I mean, like every victim is a victim of someone.
Exactly. I was having a conversation with my brother a couple of days ago, and I'm here visiting him in Florida, and he says, he's trying to get his son to be a big man, brave man. And he says, how did we get through this? And I'm like, well, a lot of us drank a lot of alcohol, so we don't.
True. A lot of
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, it's like it worked out, but look how, people should have gotten help, for their issues instead of, forcing us, pushing us, demeaning us, causing trauma to us, So yeah, I don't want to drink alcohol. I don't want to do drugs. So that's why I chose to get help for my issues. And I hope our viewers will choose to get help too. If you need,
Yeah.
yeah, if
Yeah.
you need our support, please go to talcare.com. Thank you for joining us today. We've come to the end of our podcast, and I will have Miriam give us the final word before we close out today.
I hope everyone are having a happy marriage and will be having a happy marriage and happy couple. And I wish everyone happiness, and don't be the victim. Don't take the victim role. Everyone, even if like you feel like, because the last part of the podcast we were talking a little bit about the generational trauma, don't be a victim. You're not a victim, actually. You are the main character of your own life. You can do whatever you want. If you feel that you have some issues, you can get help. If you can do it by yourself, and there are people who can't do that by themselves. Not everyone have the same will or the same. So please reach out to help. If you need help, there is talcare.com. You can, even if you can't subscribe, you will find some information that will help you on the blog. You can send an email, you can receive the newsletter, you can integrate. It's like, even if you don't have the money right now, there is a starting point. And that's why Dr. Tal really was trying to make it as basically for free, because your main goal is to help people. There is no, and the money will be getting, it's to improve, to keep improving, because this company need to work like every other organization. And to work, we need some contributions. And these $5 monthly or these $50 a year, this is gonna be your contribution to help. And people who don't have the money for that, there is a starting point. Go to the website, subscribe to the newsletter, send an email with your problem, answer the quiz. It's like there is a starting point, guys. Keep up the good work, and maybe see you next time.
We wish you a happy marriage, Miriam.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, give us some highlights when we come back next month. Yeah.
Yes. I'm so excited.
So send Miriam some happy marriage wishes, folks. We do. Thank you for joining us. See you again.
Thank you so much for this, Doctor. Thank you so much. And thank you for all the expertise and all the advices you give to people every day, especially on the relationship podcast, because I'm sure that a lot of people will benefit from this, and this will be recorded, so you can watch it later.
Around the block a few times, and I've been in difficult relationships. I've been in, bad family upbringing.
Yeah. And for next episodes, if anyone want to share their problem and to share like what they're living right now, their relationship, their problem, they have a question, send a message, leave a comment, and Dr. Tal maybe in live.
And this is why I'm a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner, because I had to figure out my own, problems. So now I can help other people as well. And I'm, credentialed to do so. So, Dr. Tal,